Hey, I'm Dustin Lewis, and I'm with Chris Gordon on Hellblazer.
Everyone, I have the proud honour and the privilege to welcome back to Hellblazerbiz, Dustin Lewis, my friend, because I think it's 4 years to the day today.
4 years to the day.
26th of July. So
That's so crazy.
Yeah, 4 years to the day since you first came on. As you can see, is that way. Yeah.
Talking about Sleepy Hollow mostly at that point.
We were. That's what I've got in here, I think. Yeah, because you just gone on to Sleepy Hollow. So yeah, that was the main thing at the time. But yeah, God, how times have moved on.
Yeah, right. Things have changed a lot in 4 years.
Yeah. So that was my first question. Actually, so last time we spoke, obviously you've been Sleepy Hollow, but since then you've now got credits with House of Cards, Ozark, The Resident, Nashville, Cobra Kai, obviously, and about 3 times as many more.
Yeah, it's been a good few years, and it's so interesting with this job that we do. It's so up and down, but when you look at it all together, you're like, yeah, I guess I haven't been busy for the past 4 years, and you just as well as anybody too, is like, and sometimes you do things and it doesn't come out, won't be seen by the public anyway.
Yeah.
For a year, sometimes 2 years. There's some things that I saw at Sundance a few years ago that are just now coming out. So that's also kind of a weird, it's like, well, I haven't really been doing much in these past 4 months, and then all your stuff comes out in 3 months, and it was like, oh, you've been busy. I'm like, have I really been busy?
You've been stressing out, worrying where the bills are going to be paid from.
Right. And you're being like, where are all the auditions? Because it's been slow, and everybody else is like, wow, you're killing it, you blah, 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 all that.
Yeah. No, and that is something that is very typical, like you say, of the acting world. And it's so, I do keep forgetting, because whenever I talk to people, you see the IMDb, and it's like you say, they're all coming out. But as you say, there's periods of time you probably sat there for like 4 or even 12 months where you just sat there and you're really banging out as many auditions as you can, because it's just taking that long for a show. I mean, I was about to speak to someone else whose film is, we spoke 2 or 3 years ago, and she made a film, and that it's now just got to the screener stage to go to festivals. So it does take a long time to get something through.
It's insane, and there's a wonderful film. Everybody should buy it and watch it. I'm not in it, so it's not just because of that. It's called Burden, and we saw it at Sundance. I was in Come Sunday, which was at Sundance, so that's the reason I was going that year. And which you should also rent and watch on Netflix. It's a great film called Come Sunday with Chiwetel Ejiofor and Jason Segel, and so a really wonderful cast. But Burden, yeah, we saw it. We loved it. It was my favorite thing. Oh, that and Hereditary. If you've seen Hereditary, it's the same year Hereditary, which is the horror movie with Toni Collette. But so Burden just finally was released like a few months ago. And that's been 2.5 years ago, and it was shot here, and I have friends in it. I keep telling everybody about this film, and I'm like, oh wait, it hasn't come out yet. But yeah, so that happens a lot. And with now, I think with COVID and the theaters being mainly closed and stuff like that, like I have 3 movies that I filmed that, I don't know what they're planning on doing with it yet.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy. You actually said, what was the other film? Not Burden, the other one.
Come Sunday?
No, the other one with Toni Collette.
Oh, Hereditary. Oh,
that's actually on I've just seen that on Netflix, literally, and I thought, right, we'll save that for tonight.
Oh, get ready. It's a ride.
Is it?
Oh, it's one of my favorite horror films. It's one of my favorite films. The cast is just so good, so it elevates that horror. So like you've got like some of the best actors you've ever seen, plus just an awesome storyline, and it's something else. And when we were at Sundance watching it, we were like literally like the second audience to watch it, and even some of the special effects weren't done yet.
Yeah.
And people were jumping and screaming like 6 times, and these are all film people. It was great. It was great. You'll love it.
Brilliant, fantastic. What's your favorite film genre then, Dustin?
Oh man, I honestly, and this is not even oh, I love everything. I just,
Mm.
you know, I like it all. I really do. If it's a good, well-made film that, and not even well-made, if it tells a good story, I love it. I'll watch anything from Grace and Frankie, like a
Hmm.
series like that, or Monty Python type stuff to like, anything like, some of the the more dramatic or sappy films,
Yeah.
So, I love
Yeah.
it all. Steel Magnolias, love that movie.
Oh yeah.
Like
I challenge anyone to keep a dry eye watching
I
that.
know, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
you are not human if you, yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
And
it's
more.
really, and I think that's part of just being a storyteller too. Like,
Mm,
I mean, like I love, and I'd love to see, because I think there's something about, every project, whether you see an actor that goes and you go, oh man, that moment was so beautiful,
hmm
or just being affected by content, I think is so cool. And I think that's what during this pandemic has kept a lot of people sane, to be quite honest with you,
Yeah.
is be able to watch stories and be able to escape a little bit from what's going on in the world.
hmm Exactly. And I know that's something in the UK, and I probably is the same in the US as well. There's been a massive surge because with the COVID and obviously the 4 months or whatever that 5 months nearly we like in the UK we've had it as well is they've really they've not helped the arts much at all. For the months went by where there's nothing going on, and I was fully supportive. That I think we're on Facebook, friends on Facebook for you, so we've seen, I know that you have as well. So I've seen it's just pushing to say that people who don't think the arts actually are valuable, it's like right now, yeah, which
But they'll just click onto Netflix or whatever
exactly,
else, or
yeah, or
to be like, oh, I just binged 24 hours of 4 shows. I'm like, oh, okay,
exactly,
well
yeah,
then
yeah,
it's important for you right now.
exactly, yeah,
Well, it's
exactly.
it's live theater. I mean, that I come from doing live theater, and I've been
Hmm.
trying to do everything I can to support, but there's other causes that it's everybody, I think, is in that situation, especially if you're super empathetic to that side of the business. And then my friends that are at restaurants, so we're trying to like go and get takeout as much as we can from
Yeah, to
certain
try and help those
restaurants.
businesses as well.
And one thing that I've been doing, and I've got actually this week, the Old Vic is doing
Hmm.
online live streaming shows.
Oh,
So
nice.
they just did Lungs, so we watched that, which I've done a couple scenes from in class. And then
Hmm.
Andrew Scott's doing a one-man show coming up.
Oh, cool.
I'm obsessed
He's
with Andrew
fantastic.
Scott.
He's
He's one of my
brilliant.
favorites. Yeah,
Mm.
but so he's doing a one-man show. So I think those are the great ways that we can all support, especially live theater. I think honestly, our business as far as TV and film, of course, we're not working.
Yeah.
Just we're not working, right? Period. Like it's not even. It's slowly starting to come back a little bit, um, but people are consuming more content for
Hmm.
sure, which is good,
Yeah.
which is great, for us on that side of it too. I've discovered, I'm sure as many other people have, some things that I would have probably never ever discovered because of the quarantine. So
Hmm.
it excites me to go, oh, I've discovered this new actor or this new storyteller or writer or producer or something that's producing this cool content across all forms of media right now, which I think that's what's really awesome about
Yeah.
us being able to sit back and take time to consume different content.
Oh, definitely, definitely. And I think that the fact that there are now so many platforms, like if they want to sponsor me, Netflix for name dropping, the Netflix, Disney Plus, you've got Amazon Prime, you've got
Oh
Hulu,
yeah,
you've got so many, and they've been such a portal for all of these, in especially a lot of independent films as well, which you normally wouldn't get to see, sadly. But they're actually, they're championing those as well. I mean, the amount of
and some
disaster movies on.
shorts. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
there's
some
some
brilliant
short
short films
content
as well.
too on Netflix now that I'm like, oh, cool. Well, I didn't even, or Sundance.
Hmm.
The Sundance has a channel too that if I always suggest, if you want to really dig into some like kind of unknown filmmakers or things that just won't, where mainstream places won't take,
Hmm.
Sundance has a channel as well, and then a service that's really
Okay.
cool. It's really cool. I mean, there's series too that have like 5 seasons that I've
Yeah.
watched. Now I'm like, how did I miss this? This is so good, you know.
Brilliant. It's great, and that's I think it's definitely the theatre one as well. I've got probably go into theatre as well later on, but there's definitely the one thing that's really I've got to say in this lately in the epidemic is the way. I'm not going to go into politics too much, don't worry, because I know well I could talk. Oh,
Oh yeah,
but it's like our certain prime minister.
Just see my social media for my political views.
Yeah, oh yes, and mine.
I'm happy to share them.
Yeah, I think we're aligned, so it's fine.
Right.
I can see on our views.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, no, Boris has obviously he opened all the pubs and what you said about the theatres as well with the live streaming of those solo performances like Andrew Scott would be great. But it's a bugbear to me because I think they've opened pubs and he goes, go back to the pubs. He's apparently a patriotic duty as a British person to go to the pub. But
Yeah,
I would say it's
great.
a patriotic duty to go to the theatre because you can adhere to this social distancing so much easier in a theatre. I mean, even if you're not selling the house out, you maybe sell everyone in 3 seats or something. You've got enough distance there.
Well, and you're not contributing to alcoholism.
Exactly. Oh, yeah.
So, which is more patriotic, really? Yeah. I mean, I'm just kidding. I'm kind of, but that's the thing. It's like now well, I'm using what I can't remember. Can we cuss on here or not? I can't.
Yeah, it's fine.
I was going to say what a shit show the United States is right now. We're figuring out all kinds of things that are what makes us Americans that I had no idea that that was part of it. So I really we feel you on that, and the height of embarrassment for a lot of Americans right now is beyond belief. So
yeah,
I feel you.
We can't laugh at you anymore as British because we were. He obviously got me because obviously the orange person in charge is was a laughing stock, but then obviously we got Boris and he's just a microcosm.
Now it's started. Now it's like come on. People.
So it's like really.
Have we learned nothing? Come on. Yeah.
It's like why do we always have to copy America?
Yeah, don't. I do not suggest it at this point for any country to copy anything that we're doing. You can quote me on that. That's fine.
Cool. Politics aside, that's
fine. There we go. We got it in, so that's good.
But yeah, that's the love, and I think that is what people are seeing as well. People, like you say, people like we spoke before, people who didn't recognize it and now realizing that the arts industry and the TV, the productions that they're watching wouldn't be possible without people like yourself and obviously the cinematographers, the grips, the cameramen, the sound engineers, the makeup, everybody involved.
Well, so many people involved, as you know, in a single production that there's so many people out of work, and I think maybe sometimes general consumers of content that don't know anybody maybe that's in the business at all don't understand that there's so many families out of work because of this, and some of those families that work and do their side hustle if they're not working constantly on TV and film. At restaurants, so then they're doubly screwed, So it's like, especially a lot of ours. Everybody knows, gosh, I've waited. I literally, it's been when I was 4 years ago. I think I was still working in a restaurant when I talked to you last time.
I think you were.
It's only been over the past 3.5 years, 3 years that I've let that go, and I teach more now. But that's what I do as my other gig beside acting. But and so it's hit our industry, the theater industry and us even harder to an extent,
Well, yeah, definitely, because your backup gigs have also gone. So
yeah, exactly, yeah. And I can't do any computer programming from home or anything. That's not where So let's
No, you're right. It's just a really tough situation. So hopefully we'll start easing off soon. And you got, like you say, we've seen a slow return to it now. Even some of the long running soap operas in the UK, like they have in the States, they had to stop because obviously COVID. They started up again now, but there were several weeks. Like my wife, for example, was in total denial because her favourite soap just had to stop for the first time in 30 odd years. And she was like, "What do I do now?"
Right.
Yeah, my schedule's
Everything.
gone.
Yeah, it's been weird, and thankfully, we're better off than a lot of people. So that's,
Mm.
any of that's not a complaint or anything like that. It's just the truth. It's
Oh
just
yeah,
what's
yeah.
going
So as I
on,
say, it's just I'm not
you know.
trying to demean anybody else. I've got lots of friends who they've either been furloughed, well, lucky enough if they've been furloughed, but then if they've not been furloughed, then they're just desperately trying to struggle
Yeah,
to find somewhere.
yeah, it's
It's just
across
amazing.
everything. Yeah,
Yeah, it
it's
is.
across
It's
everything.
across everything. Well, something else I know. This was quite a few years ago. I think it might be. I remember the excitement of First Man as well, because obviously that was a cracking film. It's been a while since I've
Yes.
seen it. I remember when you were the excitement of you announcing that on Facebook. So, what was it like to be part of that one? Because that's
Well,
obviously.
I'll tell you what, it was really cool. I mean, to work with those just everybody involved and the
Mhm.
magnitude of that film. But I got cut out of the movie pretty much. I had a whole scene with. I mean, this is the way it goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had a whole scene with Ryan Gosling. I filmed
Mhm.
like I had these small snippets. If you watched it, there's a scene where Claire Foy is. I played Ralph Morris, who was a really prolific photographer, probably one of the most prolific photographers of the last century. He
Mhm.
started with the space program from the inception of it. So they really counted him as another astronaut. They really
Yeah.
called him like, which was, and just like he was the first war photographer, as young as he was at 18 to go. He was the youngest to
Wow.
go an actual. And so, I mean, he's in some of the pictures, like he took the picture of, if you know that Einstein photo of the messy desk,
Yeah.
Einstein's desk, he took that photo.
Wow.
So I mean, he's really prolific, and of course we all think our roles are important, and he's an important part of that history, but
Mhm.
they cut so much out of that movie. Like, I know how much they filmed, and
Mhm.
like, because I had the script, I had
Yeah.
everything. Damien Chazelle was amazing about sending us this 350-page document with his shots, what his
Mhm.
inspirations from shots for every moment. It was incredible to watch, and it's something
Yeah.
really special to be able to look back on. But yeah, so for the 2.5-3 days that I actually shot it, um, there's just one like picture of me taking a couple pictures of Claire, but I got to hang out with Claire Foy. I mean,
Well,
come on,
yeah. Exactly.
and Damien Chazelle and Ryan, and you know,
Yeah.
it was a wonderful experience.
And that's the part of it as well. It's these things happen. It was at the end of you end up on the editor's floor, but it's the experience you get that you get to work with all these different people, and all the different experiences that they bring in that you can actually take away with you as well.
Oh, incredible, incredible. And just the way they shot it, everything was 360. So like they
Hmm.
built a house that looked exactly like their house. So that's where we shot mostly. They literally built from the floor up a whole house that
Wow.
looked, oh, the detail was amazing. So they shot everything they shot, you could shoot 360. It wasn't
Hmm.
for the home especially. And just listening to them work. And then, the director photographer,
Hmm.
is a Oscar award winning, to hear how they all worked together. It was such a great learning experience, period. And, you just learn not to be too precious with your work,
Yeah.
because it just might not be there when you go to see it in the theater,
Yeah.
and that's just something you learn, and you can't let that crush you, and you move on.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's a good attitude to have, because I'd be distraught. To be fair, I'd be distraught. I'd be
Oh,
sitting there. I'll be waiting for the whole movie, and I'd be going, "Hang on a minute! Whoa, 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 whoa! Oh, stop!"
yeah, right. Where am I?
Yeah, I'm supposed to be there.
It was such a good movie, though. It didn't do quite as well as it should have. I think. I don't know why, but
I
it
think
was
it's
such a
probably.
good movie.
I think it's probably one of those slow burners that picks up as now it's on networks and stuff. It'll pick up and it'll just
Yeah,
it'll turn into one of those, which would be good.
it was
Excellent.
beautifully shot.
Yeah, there's some stunning
Oh,
cinematography in it. There really was.
yeah.
Excellent. Cool. And you're still. I mean, something else you just mentioned as well. Obviously, you're still working with Catherine Dyer and Aaron
Oh
Burns.
yeah,
You
we
teach the
teach a class
Meisner. You teach the
together.
Meisner, don't you? With
I teach not with her. We teach a class called the Breakdown, which is a
okay.
preparation and memorization class. But yeah, I teach the Meisner program on my own. But we still teach together. Yeah, of course, of
Yeah,
course.
she was great. Erin was great. I loved chatting to her as well, and Catherine as well. Both of them were
Oh yeah, they're great.
they're great.
Aaron Danger.
Oh, sorry, Aaron Burns.
Oh,
Aaron
Aaron
Elizabeth
Burns, of
Burns. Yeah,
course. That was way back. Yeah, back in
that
the
was
day.
way back. Yeah, that was a long
Oh
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
She
gosh.
moved on now. She. Has she moved into that?
She's like an online guru now.
That's
She
what I was
like
thinking. I've
teaches,
seen loads of
yeah,
her videos that she does, and she puts across. They're like,
yeah. She's doing really well. She's a great following. She's great teacher. So
yeah.
yeah.
And Erin Danger's coming on my show as well. She's accepted, so we're talking about that too. Because obviously she
Who's
was
that?
Erin, the other Erin.
Oh, Erin Danger. Yes, yes. And she's one of my students, so it was
Oh
cool
right.
yeah. I got to be on my first day on set. She was wrapping up her first day, so I
Hmm.
came a little later. So I got to watch her film like all the cafeteria scene in season 1 and
Yeah.
the big fight in the cafeteria and all that stuff. It was fun.
Excellent, fantastic. That must be good to see, as you say, when she was your student and you can go and see her work, and especially on the same show that you've got.
Oh yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, congrats, this is awesome. Yeah. We're all so supportive of each other.
That's one thing I love as well, especially the Cobra Kai as well. Not just the fans, the fan base will go on again. The fan base is awesome, but you
So
guys as
awesome.
actors, you're very, very. I mean, you're all based in most of you are based in Atlanta, should I say? So you've all got that network there that you're all really supportive of each other and each other's work.
Yeah,
Which
it's
is
so
fantastic.
great to see everybody. I mean, I still like, fan out when I see people on TV that I fully know they're in it. I'm like, wait, look, it's Erin. There she is. She did such a good job. I don't know. It's fun. It's still fun.
Have you done? Oh, sorry, I can't speak. So obviously, it's not just this. We talk about stage. You're not just screen, stage as well. Have you done much stage since we last spoke? In the
I
4
haven't
years.
done I haven't done anything. I've
Okay.
been pretty busy with everything,
Well, yeah, I
and
was gonna say.
and it's hard because it does pull you away.
Mm-hmm.
For a solid amount of time. So there's a lot of
Yeah.
adjustment to be, and quite a few of the theaters, especially back, a few years ago, don't do a lot of understudies here,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately. I mean, the bigger ones do that are, more bigger equity houses,
Yeah.
but um, so it's hard. You have to pull yourself out for 2 months
Mm-hmm.
of TV and film. So
Well, yeah, exactly. Matt Lewis said the same thing. Actually, that's exactly the same. To be fair, he was saying
yeah,
about the same thing. There's no understudy. A lot of them don't do understudies,
yeah,
and you're right, for theatre production, when you've got to give 2 months of your time up, and how much opportunity could you miss if you can't audition for anything or can't just pick up a commercial or something in the meantime? It's
yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah,
Well, and then navigating if you're doing, like, for me, teaching too, because I
yeah.
teach a lot in the evening. So with figuring out rehearsal and all that kind of stuff, and then having people take over my class, I would honestly
Hmm.
just be out so much money as well on top of it.
Yeah.
A lot of my income, because theater, of course, doesn't pay nearly as well,
Mm.
in a general sense, depending. Um, so it's just really navigating it and kind of having to plan it. Like, if I would do something, I'd have to, like, know about it
Yeah.
for like 4 months, and, like, be able to plan it. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
probably the
exactly.
only way that I'll end up doing something, is if it's really structured and planned out, that I know all my bases are covered. So
No, that's fair enough.
I miss it though.
Yeah, I mean, I did it years ago. I'd love to get back on the stage. I said when we
Yeah.
last spoke, I think it's 20. How old am I now? 25 years ago since I was
Wow.
since I
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
only
We did
amateur
talk about that
dramatic
before.
stuff. Yeah, but it was just I'd love to do that. It's an experience and a half of the exhilaration of getting on stage and
Yeah, it's great. I love it. I love it.
Helen Irvin, who's one of the fans, she actually said, talking about theatre, she's kind of, she's got a couple of questions. So we'll go on to the first one. You've worked in
Oh,
so many
shoot.
spectrums of the entertainment industry. Which has actually been your favorite?
Oh my gosh. Gosh, just like, once again, there's so many great things about. I mean, when I used to work on cruise ships, I mean, it was so you like travel around the world, especially when I was a singer, because, like, we just, what we say, park and bark, right?
Hmm.
So we, like, I walk out, sing my song, walk off,
Yeah.
then go to the buffet that night, and and go all over the world on ships, which was great. But I mean, right now though, I love what we do within this medium of TV and film and on camera work. I think
Hmm.
part of the reason why is that I think there's an energy of the theater that I miss, and
Hmm.
I think every with live audience and all that. But there's something really interesting about how on film, TV and film, there's so much to learn about it,
Hmm.
that I think it's something that and it's ever changing, right?
Yeah.
That like I'm diving more into like learning more about editing and,
Hmm.
um, cinematography and stuff like that. So I can understand how I can help in my,
Yeah.
my cog in the wheel, how I can be more productive for everybody else as an actor as well, because, we just aren't there to, you know, willy-nilly just say our lines and do our thing.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know, the adjustment for a close-up, and you have to know, a
Hmm.
wide, all that stuff. It's all technical as well, which I think is really cool. Where in theater, I mean, you rehearse it, you got it down, and there's that wonderful energy from the audience, which I miss so much. But
Yeah.
but once you're rolling, of course, you're in the moment. Work is there,
Hmm.
but you pretty much know what's going to happen to an extent, right? Of course, not
Yeah.
the emotional life, and like somebody could drop a line, all that, of course. But I think structurally, I think TV and film becomes, in a way, a little bit more exciting,
Hmm.
and it becomes more of a challenge sometimes to me in the sense of the business end, because it's like, I don't know. It's like I don't know. Maybe I'm just like not the word's not a glutton for punishment, but you kind of just don't know what's going to happen next or
Yeah.
when your next job is, and you audition a lot. So I think you're working more, right?
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Continually working and taking class and memorizing sides, and
Hmm.
in that it's way harder in a sense than theater. But then you get a show, and then you're like, oh shit, I'm on stage for like 2 hours straight. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And you don't have time for a pee break. And there's each has their own things. But right now, let's just say right now, TV and film on
Okay.
camera work.
Cool. That's the other
You'll talk to me another 4 years. I'll be like, I've been doing theater. I want to take a break from TV and
thing.
film. Who knows?
Yeah, that's the other thing with theatre as well, because with TV and film, although you do learn your script and everything there, because if you did forget, you've got it right there. You can just quickly nip off, have a quick read of it, go back on again. With theatre, that's it. That's 2.5 hours. You've got to memorize everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, and like I said, both ways of working are have huge challenges and huge benefits and huge. So, and I mean, anybody you talk to that does both, they're like,
Yeah,
it's this. I think it's the same kind of thing, right?
yeah,
Um,
definitely. Definitely. That actually brings me on because Helen also mentioned something else, but we just started to touch on it there, where you said you're learning more about the other side of it. And she actually said, well, maybe would you like to learn and work more behind the camera as well?
yeah, my husband and I started Chipper Dog Productions.
Mm-hmm.
We have our own
Product
production
placement.
company, product placement. And we shot our first short called "Perchance to Dream,"
Mm-hmm.
and so that's finished. And we were getting ready to like send it out to all kinds of festivals, things like that, and we submitted to some, but COVID.
Yeah.
So even some of them that we sent to have canceled completely.
Oh,
So yeah, absolutely. I would love to direct at some point for sure. And I produced, helped produce and was in this one.
yeah.
Absolutely. I'd love to direct at some point, and that really has been supported by a lot of, gosh, when I did Ozark and Jason Bateman
Mm-hmm.
was directing, he's such a good director. And I think a lot of times some of the best directors, not, you don't necessarily have to be an actor to be a director, of course,
Mm-hmm.
but on our side, it's so lovely to have an actor that's a director.
Yeah, you get
Helps
to,
us.
yeah, because they understand your side. Yeah, in fact,
Yeah,
it's a mutual understanding and a mutual sort of respect that of what the other people are doing.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
I think it does. It probably does help a lot. Not that I've got that experience in there, but I'm just, yeah. But from the people I
But
talk
that's
to,
it. Yeah, it is. It is. Well, you speak a similar language, and then because
hmm,
I've had the gamut of it. Like, and then you have Damien Chazelle, he's not an actor,
yeah,
but he's like a brilliant director. Um, but then I've also had, directors that were mainly like directors of photography.
hmm,
So, or somebody, somebody that's a producer or something that really
yeah,
hasn't uh, doesn't know how to speak to actors. And then
yeah,
I've worked with a few of those directors before, and to literally just help them talk to actors. And I've had people in my class that are directors, so they could get that experience to see what it's like.
Excellent, excellent. That is really, really good. And I think it's nice to have that all around and to move on and do things like that would be fantastic.
Hmm.
Before I start moving about sorry, itchy nose, apologies. talking about Cobra Kai. The one thing I've got to say about musicals is I mentioned this to you at the beginning because when I was looking at your resume, I was like, oh, I completely forgot when I was reading it that you were in a musical. It's one I'm desperate to see it live. I really am. Avenue Q, and you happen
Oh
to
yeah.
play. I listened to it on the soundtrack because there's the one song because you happen to play my favorite character of Trekkie.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
And
And
that,
they did it in that production. They did it a little differently. So I played Trekkie, and then also, oh my gosh, what's his name?
I think it's Ron, was it? Ron or Rod?
Yeah, Ron,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Because yeah, no, I mean that song's great. I was actually showing my
Oh,
wife
so
before. It's
fun.
like,
Oh, it's
yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
for
yeah.
porn.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was fun. That was a
Sorry, Kate
fun show to do.
Monster.
You got it
That's
down.
actually.
See, when they revive it in the UK, then you can.
Yeah, yeah, I'll go for it. I've been trying. I just thought it's like Yoda, but speaking normally because I do my Yoda voice, and the first I was trying to do Trekkie when I heard it, and I was just like, you just put
Yeah, there you go.
the.
You just like place it a little bit differently. Yeah, that's awesome.
I love that. Was that one line? When she, sorry, that one line. She goes, "Oh yeah." She goes, "Normal people." She goes, "You're not like normal people." Goes, really? You have no idea.
Yeah, right.
Come on, normal people.
I love it. I love it.
It's great. Sorry. Okay.
Mm,
So
that's
obviously,
awesome.
with Cobra Kai, which is the reason I didn't really, to be fair, I've got to admit, I was very, I didn't realize you had been on Cobra Kai. And we were sat watching it, binge watching, and you came on screen as Mr. Palmer, and I was like, that's Dustin.
Yeah, yeah. I don't do a ton in the series, but I think it continues to kind of be my career in the past few years. Is that I don't have a lot in it, but I have memorable scenes in a lot of stuff. Like,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, are you a fan of karate? Were you a fan of Karate Kid? Are you a fan of the original Karate Kid? So how did it feel getting Cobra Kai?
I mean, it's so cool because because I was in the first season. Of course, we didn't know what it was going to end
Yeah.
up being, and I didn't have I didn't except for a few things with it, going and seeing Aaron on set, and then um, going to shoot myself,
Hmm.
and see kind of the structure of it. We kind of didn't know. I didn't know really what was going on or what point of view it was going to be through
Hmm.
because we didn't have that much information, right? So when you're
Yeah.
shooting, and if you're not like a series regular, I mean, I had that full script, but that's about it.
Hmm.
Um, but the energy was great around it. I had a blast shooting it, with the fetal pigs and all that. And he's like dad jokes all day. So, which, I love that kind of stuff. So I was like, oh, this is cool, and then, yeah, of course, I mean, who in the 80s did not like Karate Kid, right? I mean,
Hmm.
um, and I had seen it multiple times, of course, and blah, blah, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I didn't really realize, and when I shot season 2, I told Josh this. Josh and I were having a conversation, and I got really emotional, like in the first few episodes of it, because they were showing all that footage from the original, but from
Mhm.
different points of view and stuff. Because
Yeah.
they used footage that wasn't used for the original um,
Right. The
Karate
original
Kid,
cuts.
right?
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
so it was from Johnny's point of view instead of how it was originally shown to us.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was so weird. It just like got so nostalgic. Like it was so cool. And yeah, so I guess it even meant more than I thought. And I don't know, but watching the first season, I was like, this is the best of the way this could have ever turned out
Oh
for
yeah.
Cobra Kai. The way they're telling story and weaving in new stories and bringing back old relationships and flipping the script on what we think
Hmm.
about the relationships, and they're just brilliant. The guys are brilliant at it, and the actors are phenomenal. The kids that they
Yeah.
brought in and stuff.
Oh yeah,
And
they're really good.
oh, and I have to tell you, with that too, as you probably heard from other people, is like something like that for a role like mine. I had no idea if I was ever coming back. Like
Yeah.
it's not like they were like, and literally the end of the year, because I shot the last episode of season 2 that I was in December. So like that was just like a nice Christmas surprise, like
Yeah.
because I didn't know I was coming back, and so I got to sit there all day too. It's like when they're in the foyer and all that stuff with her flipping over the rail and going up the stairs, and I got to watch them. I sat there and watched them shoot all of that all day, and those stunt performers, and then the actors doing some of the stunts and the fighting. I got to watch them all day. It was like heaven. They were so good. So like you can't. It's so fun. It's just so fun.
I think Matt explained to me as well that was a quite famous scene, the corridor scene on that fight at the beginning when they're shooting down the corridor, and it ends with oh my god, I can't remember his name. Oh, how embarrassing! The older guy.
Oh yeah.
Everyone's going to shout and scream at this when they're watching this now. But yeah, when it came out, I think.
Oh, as a security guard.
Yeah, because that was all one scene. That was all one shot. Sorry, one shot. Yeah.
Oh, insane! Like they're so good.
With the actors and the stunts switching over and switching costumes, and as they're going down.
Oh, they're the like I said, like the actors and the amount of time that they put into that, and just the commitment of it, and the stunt performers. Though I just cannot. Paul Hauser, is that who you're talking about?
Yeah.
Paul, yeah.
Yeah,
killer, man.
They are, those stunts, especially in that final scene. And then obviously, I think every parent who's got a kid in school who's been in a fight was screaming at you on that line. It's like, I don't get paid enough for this.
Right? Yeah, and that's so funny. When I got it, I was like, oh, this is what I get to do. Okay, this is cool. Once again, it's a fun little memorable,
Oh god, yeah, it's like that's what I mean. You were memorable. The memorable performances because you walked out, see the other teacher get floored. It's like I don't get paid enough for this crap.
No, this is not happening. This is not happening.
But the story of it, as I say, I mean, it's brilliant. Like you say, the way that they've twisted the tale around, and you feel sorry for John. I think I put it on Facebook just today. Someone mentioned about the scenes where Ralph and Billy are together, and I said some of those scenes are the best scenes because I said it's just showing you've got lifelong enemies, and all you need to do is just scratch off a little bit of the surface and realize, take away the animosity, and realize actually, you've got loads in common. There's no need to be like that just because of and it's what a waste of life is through hatred and stuff, and it's absolutely perfect at sort of explaining that and showing that, and I'm Team Johnny. I'm actually until Thingamajig took over, Kreese came back in.
Yeah, right. Oh my gosh.
I was Cobra Kai all the way because I was like, go on, Johnny. I'm rooting for Johnny. I'm sorry, Ralph, but I thought Danny was a bit of an ass.
Yeah, he was a jerk, right? Yeah, they set that up so well. He was so like out of touch and like, yeah.
That's why it's worked. I think is so well because it's like people are like, whoa, and like you say, the original footage used to twist the tale. So like it's like Johnny's like, I'm the one who's getting bullied by this kid, Dan Russo all the time. Absolutely spot on.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I mean. Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead. What were you saying?
Oh, no, I was going to say, obviously we've got season 3 as well. I know if you wouldn't be able to talk about it if you did, but if we saw Mr. Palmer come back, which we hope we do, and I'm trying to word this carefully because I don't want anyone getting in trouble because I know obviously until it's aired, no one can talk about season 3s. Would you like to see, obviously, Mr. Palmer developed as a character some more?
Yeah, I mean, of course,
it's work
like all the time. We were, Erin Danger and I, when she got cast and then I got cast, I said, well, this is a perfect setup for us to have some torrid love affair or something. We were laughing about that, and then it's just we play around all the time, and with me running out from the end of season 2, we all thought, oh, well, maybe he needs to go and take some, go to one of the dojos and learn some, karate. So he's, I don't know, but
See, well, that'd be a cracking story arc that for season 3, wouldn't it? Yeah, get the teachers and the counsellors and everyone else is like, right, hang on, I had enough of this shit. If that's breaking out in school, we need to learn it ourselves.
Right? An in-school dojo.
Yeah.
A teacher's dojo.
Yeah, maybe that's how Johnny and Danny team up together as well. You got Kreese, and then you got Danny, Johnny, and then you got they're competing against the school dojo.
There you go. Right? Yeah. Or it'd be like the most boring thing that could ever happen in the show would be that they team up and have like, they just put together school presentations for the teachers. Like it's just like a teacher safety protocol, and that's all they do for season 3. They just go around to high schools in the community and safety techniques. That's it. That's there you go, season 3.
I'm sure it'll be a lot different.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
that's funny.
And I say, obviously season 2 ended on that penultimate of like, wow, that. But like I said, we're not going to go. I won't go into it again because we talked about the fight scene. I literally was on the edge of my seat. It's been quite a while since I've been on the edge of my seat for that long in suspense at something, because you knew something was going to happen, but you're just like, oh my god, and then it's like, isn't it now? No. it's so, as you say, so well done by everybody involved, even behind the camera, in front of the camera, was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and to see, and like I said, to be there and watch like these experts, these people who are at the top of their field do their thing. It's the best. It's the best. And then I also go, I'm glad I don't have to do that. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one of the behind the scenes jobs you don't run out there.
Nah, it's not yeah.
Excellent. So I've got a signature question as well before I draw this to a close, because I know I've been talking to you and rabbiting you on for you for most of your morning now. I think this has actually came after we spoke last, so this will be different. I had Mike Quinn. He's been a puppeteer for Jim Henson for 30 years. He came on my show and someone sent the question in, and I've asked it ever since to everybody. So, well, most people I can. Some people have turned around and said, what is, they didn't understand what it was because they were too young to actually acknowledge these. But if you could have a Muppet created after you, what Muppet would it be and why? And not Trekkie.
Have a Muppet?
Yeah, after your own person. It's a good personality question, is to be fair. What kind of...
Oh my gosh, that's tough. But we're not picking one. We're not picking one that's already exists, though, right?
Yeah, if you want to, it can be one that exists. Okay. You can mix a couple together.
Oh man, I don't know. That's a tough one. What Muppet would I be? I think, gosh, you know who I would really want to be is the Swedish Chef. Hurdy-burdy-burdy. I am actually, my ancestry is Swedish, and I love to cook. So
there you go, perfect.
I kind of feel like I'm already kind of him.
You just need the big white hat, big moustache. It's like, hurdy, you throw chicken in basket.
Yeah, I love it.
Even got the impression. So I think mine would be Kermit being the presenter. I actually sang, because I did, what was it? I did, why are there so many songs about rainbow? That was impression.
Love me some Kermit.
Sorry, everyone who's watching and listening to that. That's
great.
That's how this show started out, with me doing bad impressions, and like it's like.
Did it really?
Yeah,
oh, that's awesome.
It wasn't even really no. Yes, I was motivating people because the show got cancelled, and so I just started cracking up and I do the impressions for my son, who found them hilarious. So I did them on the thing, and people found them quite funny. I actually went to Disney and did my Donald Duck and my Goofy to them. The characters at Disney World, and my Goofy's welcome to the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, something like that.
Nice.
And the Donald is my Donald. So yeah.
Nice.
They're not brilliant, but yeah, they were
pretty damn good.
They were enough to get the characters to go to me.
Oh, good. There you go. You got a little something from them.
Oh yeah, I did my Yoda to Kylo Ren guy, and he just looked at me disdainfully. So I guess
it's kind of weird character, right? Yeah.
I was like, right, okay, you can't really do anything else, can you?
That's so
That's what
funny.
you've got to do. Cool. Is there anything, Dustin, before we stop recording, because it's been fantastic chatting to you again, is there
You
anything you'd
too.
like to say to people or who are watching and listening on this?
Man, well, just stay safe and sane. Take care of you and yours. That's the first thing. Be kind to others. Have a little empathy for everybody's situation. And I think that's one thing that Cobra Kai is kind of teaching us as well. Is like there's always another side. So look into that other side and open your eyes to others. I think that, and enjoy content, enjoy storytelling. It's what we do, and we do it for you. We like people to watch and appreciate what we do, and hopefully we move them and you learn something sometimes or whatever. But yeah, I think that's the biggest thing.